This one left me confused by user Samerbutts510. We all know and love the tree of singular bills and a few coins, and I go there often for cheap energy drinks. I'm in the aisle wearing a black t-shirt, light green pants, and a black backpack. Similar colors but completely inverted from the employee uniform. From all the way down the aisle, an older woman calls out, "Do you work here?" Fair enough, I'm wearing a shade of green, truly my mistake, so I reply, "No, I don't." She begins to walk towards me down the aisle and says, "Are you sure?" "Excuse me? Am I sure I don't work where I'm currently standing?" So I reply curtly, "Does it look like I work here?" Definitely a sassy reply, but don't continue bothering someone if they've already given you an affirmative reply, you know. Well, my reply got this woman all bothered and she replied, "I can't see well. No need to be so snippy." Oh, wow, maybe then you should have listened to my first response. The real kicker is we got in line to check out around the same time and this woman was addressing every employee by name and catching up with them, asking about their personal lives. So either she knew all the employees well enough that she shouldn't have messed me up with them, or she has good enough vision to read their name tags, which again, she then should have been able to see that I was not an employee. I walked out of there utterly confused as to what game this lady was playing with me, but I was not in the mood to play at all. My lucky day by user efficientlet686. So to give context, I am 59 if and I don't remember when the last time was that I had to utter those words, "I don't work here." Today was my lucky day. On my way home I went to Five Below to see about some fun outdoors toys and things for my grandkids and maybe a good deal on Clearance Easter candy. I lucked out on both and headed to the checkout, stopping to get a cherry coke and a single pack of classic cake bites. I've been very good with sticking to healthy foods lately. I earned a treat. What I didn't earn was two demanding boomers. I get the irony that I am only about 15 years younger than these two. Anyways, I make my much-deserved call selection. I hear behind me Mr. K and Mrs. K boomer loudly demanding to who I assumed was some per store employee, "Do you know how to work this? Where do we pay cash? How does this work? How much is this?" I am thinking, wow, I feel sorry for the poor person that has to deal with this. Newsflash. I am the poor idiot. I try to play it off like I didn't notice them for as long as I can. I am old enough I can play deaf and confused. The thing is, I usually help out people who struggle with things, but demanding isn't the same as asking politely. Well, I say as I go around them to get to a self-checkout. You just go over there and scan, gesturing to the checkouts with the sign that says cash or card. As Mrs. K dumps stuff onto the counter, Mr. K says, "But I have this," as he opens his hand to show a bunch of quarters. I've never used cash there, I just tap and go, but I look around for the cash and change slots. I find the bill slot, but don't see the coin slot, so I say, "I am not sure how they'll work you. I'll have to get someone who can help you." Dude says, "Well, I am asking you." So to myself, I think, faster. "No, you didn't ask me outwardly." I say, "I am sorry, I don't work here." Which should be obvious since I am in a bright red t-shirt and faded blue jeans. I currently work from home and had taken the afternoon off to go to my granddaughter's first grade awards ceremony. I happened to look down at the counter in front of me as I am saying this and realize the coin slot is on the counter, so I say to them, "Bro, look, the coin slot is there. You've got it covered up. They seem good now." For half a second, she loudly says, "Where do you scan this?" She asks, waving a pack of peeps in front of the screen. I pick up the hand scanner and say, "See, like this." I am trying to be upbeat, but the whole time I am getting more stressed. There is a reason I prefer to work from home. People stress me out. They were finally quiet, or so I thought. Mrs. K then screeches at me. She actually screeches. "These are supposed to be 50 cents. I don't know what they were supposed to be. I don't freaking work there." I say, "Oh, I don't know the original price, only that they were half price now." Lady proceeded to run around the clearance candy display yelling about the price, which finally summons an exhausted-looking woman wearing a store smock over a store t-shirt. She heads the both of them back to their checkout and shows them that yes, they are indeed 50 cents. I finish my purchase and head out with my yard toys and candy, but I can still hear those two giving that woman a hard time for every single thing. So unnecessary, so rude. If they had taken a few minutes and looked around and paid some attention, they wouldn't have had to be like that. The store wasn't busy at all and they could have learned some new skills. Do you know where the cider is? As a heads up, this story doesn't have much in the way of drama. I was crouched down in the alcohol section, lamenting the fact that all the crates I wanted were sticky for some reason, so I was shifting them around trying to find a crate or two that were dry when I hear it. Excuse me. So I shuffled closer to the shelves, but I turned back to see if they needed more room. I see an older man looking down and his wife pushing a trolley behind him. Do you know where the cider is? I look up the aisle for a second because the whole aisle is cider. I am at the very first product on the aisle though, and they are already halfway in at this, so I start saying, oh yes, it's right here, gesturing down as the masses of cider before us. Suddenly his wife says, he isn't Steph, you idiot, he is a customer. At this point I look at my black jeans and cream t-shirt, not at all the uniforms of the store, which is dark green trousers and windbreakers. The man turned to his wife, but he is rearranging the shelves. I tried to jump in with I am just trying to find, but the wife quickly, as he doesn't even look like Staff, you old fool, let us just go, and the man starts wandering down the aisle. As the wife passes she says sorry about him, he is old. I tell her it is no problem at all and get back to my looking. Every damn crate was sticky. Has Little gone bougie lately? I stopped in at a little grocery store after my morning court case today, wearing, ironically, my best woolen suit and tie. I'm an indigent defense lawyer, so nothing all that fancy, to be fair. A lady in her 50s touched my shoulder as I passed by to stop me and get my attention. She asked where she might find a particular kind of bread she was looking for in the bakery and started describing it. After a few sentences, she did finally give me a puzzled look and asked, you do work here, right? She wasn't being a jerk or anything, and I found the situation amusing. So I smiled, told her I was not, but that I would help her look for the bread if she wanted me to. I'm a white guy in my 40s, and the last time I recall being mistaken for an employee was when I wore a golf shirt and slacks to a Micro Center electronics store 20 years ago. I guess Little must be upping their dress code if a guy in a slate gray suit can be mistaken for an employee. It made me chuckle, and I felt useful at least. It finally happened, by user Desert Dragon. There's no super big drama or anything. Just a first-time experience. Never thought it would actually happen. Earlier this week, I dressed up to go to an interview. My dad drove me there. After the interview, my dad and I went to Princess Auto so that he could shop around for his things. I was just there to follow along, and he was also my ride home. Off he goes to the washroom. I wait outside of the washroom, phone in hand, texting one of my friends. I'm really dressed up, a nice jacket that kind of looks like it came from a uniform borrowed from my dad, a white and blue striped button-up shirt, black pants, and some black kind of alt shoes. It's the closest thing I have to proper black shoes. The uniforms of this store is a black long-sleeved shirt with a dark blue stripe across the chest and the logo/name of the store on it, and black pants. This guy wanders up to me with a product in his hand. In a very uncertain time of voice he asks me, do you work here? My immediate response was no. My next thoughts were that of confusion and taken off guard. The guy promptly turns around and speeds off. Like what? What do you take me for? My dad finishes his washroom break and I got to tell him my encounter. I point to my outfit and asked him what the heck. He told me that I look like someone in charge. He also told me that while he was off work and in his uniform from work, he was stopped at in grocery stores cause people thought he was a manager/supervisor or someone in charge. That day I learned he has a lot of IDontWorkHereLady experiences. Oh, and he tells me it'll happen more often to me as I attend more interviews and not go home immediately.